to Purge, bring you guys another replay commentary. This is my line game that I promised. I'm actually recording 5 minutes after recording the last video, but let's pretend this is the future. Again, if you guys are looking for more content today, after you're done watching this video, I am probably casting Star Ladder Europe right now. If you guys want to check that out, just go check my social media. I put the link on there. It's either twitter.com/purgegamers or facebook.com/purgegamers. Both of those places are going to have links to where I'm casting right now. So if you guys are bored after this video and you want to watch more stuff that involves me, then you should be able to find the links for that. So this was another solo queue game. I lost 2 painful matches before I played the Chen game and then this one. So I was a little bit lower. I was at 50, 60 MMR. And after I won the Chen game, I was a little higher. Spoiler alert, I guess. Like 50, 90 or somewhere around there. And then I played this game. So I've been having a lot of... I haven't felt really good about a lot of support heroes in the last week or two. I feel like the problem surrounds the hero Sniper. Sniper is a hero that has extremely good physical damage. He has extremely high range, and he has really good disables in a way, slows at least. So once he keeps you in one location, he can very easily stay far away and continue to ping you. So the issue with all the supports right now, at least in my opinion, is that it's hard for them to gap close and hard for them to deal with a Sniper. Excuse me. There wasn't actually a Sniper in this game, but I've been thinking about what supports to pick, like supports that have long range. Venge is an example. You can swap Sniper into you, but there's not a lot of really good ways to jump on top of Sniper, unless you feel like Earth Spirit or something like that. But Line is an all-around really, really strong support, and he's probably the best support right now. You could maybe compare him to Vengeful Spirit. I think he's at least as good as Venge. He's way better offensively, and he's a lot better. He's a lot more multifaceted than Venge is. He's a lot squishier, though, is one of the downsides. Venge has a higher agility gain by far, because she's an agility hero. Not that that always is the case, but Venge has much higher strength gain, definitely. And her agility is pretty high. She has a reliable stun. Line has 2 disables, but he's a lot squishier, and usually his build-up is going straight for a Blink Dagger as fast as you can. So, I'm yawning all the time right now. Okay, so for some weird ass reason, my blue player was like, I'm gonna press the random button. So he pressed the random button and you got Ursa, and we already had one guy that said he was gonna offlane, so it kind of messed up our lanes a little bit. So I was considering playing Chen again this game because I just felt like gaining MMR, but because he picked Ursa, I said, Ursa, you should just go jungle. I'll play the hard support. That way we'll only have one support, and this guy can still play his offlane. He picked Tidehunter. So we have a Tidehunter offlane, we have a jungling Ursa, we have a carry Jug, and right now our disable is really weak. It's pretty much limited to me, which makes the game a little tough here. Their last pick is going to be a Storm Spirit, which I remember because they had quite good ways to evade getting stunned.
My thanks.
I'm sorry, we do actually have a stun. It's Tidehunter. Tidehunter, Ravage, and my hero are the only disables we have at the moment. Our last pick was Queen of Pain, I think. Was it Queen of Pain? I think it was Queen of Pain. Benefits, the reason Line is kind of shifted into becoming more popular right now is mostly because of the fact that Hex scales a little bit better than it used to. I think Earth Spike got buffed in a way where it's still a good spell at level 1. In the past it was a terrible spell at level 1. It did 60 damage and like a point, I don't know, it was like a 0.25, that was like a 0.5 second stun or something terrible. It was bad. It was like a 0.5 second stun with 60 damage. It's weaker than a typical level 1 nuke. So Impale was seen as terrible, and that meant that Line kind of had to be level 3 before he was good. But now, oh god, wait, an OD, that's right. Holy shit. Not a quap. Definitely not quap. So basically, Earth Spike got buffed, so it does a 1 second stun at level 1, and it does 80 damage. So Earth Spike's better at level 1. Most people get Earth Spike at level 1 in the past. It was always Hex at level 1, because Hex was a 2.5 second disable. The downside with Hex is that it doesn't do any damage, so it requires you to attack 2 or 3 times to get your damage made up. So, because I'm the solo support, I opted for the Hella Regen method. Most cases with 2 supports, Line will get boots because he can benefit from the early boots because he can roam really well. But in this case, I opted for regen because I was expecting having to zone somebody, and there's also a chance that they had an aggressive trial lane or something like that. And especially if you have a jungling hero like an Ursa, it's better to go heavy regen in my opinion, because if you're solo support, you usually are going to have to sacrifice yourself to try to zone people and things like that. This is a little scary here. I maybe could have stunned this guy earlier,
30 seconds to battle.
but I don't know. I was a little worried. Based on his position, it looked like he was waiting or something, so I wasn't really sure what he was doing. I don't want him to place a free ward down, but I also don't want him to go for the rune spot, so I thought I'd wait a bit here. He should be able to block here, and that's honestly not that big of a deal. I think I just decided that placing the ward was more important right now. This is really dangerous running uphill like this. I could easily run into heroes.
The battle begins.
And we actually found the bench. I thought about this. I was like, this asshole's probably going to try to deny the creep. It's a little bit worried about getting hooked there. I really shouldn't have been, though, because if he hooks me, he doesn't have rot, and then he can't chase me down. If he got rot instead, I just have to make sure I stay out of melee range, so I probably should have been a little bit more aggressive there. If I actually blocked the hook with my body, I probably could have guaranteed a kill on the bench. Maybe. My armor's really low. It would have been... God, there were so many pauses in this game. Get ready for that shit. They were just like super pausey here. It was kind of annoying. Anyways, I used one Earth Spike. I attacked the Venge a crap load. The Venge's HP was significantly lowered. Pudge did not have a stout shield, and Venge only had tangos. So the early harass that we were able to put on them was actually really beneficial because it allowed us to keep their HP in a place that made them not feel very safe in terms of farming. So they did a really good job with the first couple last hits here. And again, I should just continue right-clicking, I think. Oh yeah, another buff to Lion recently was he got 5 damage buff. So that means he's a better support in terms of zoning and things like that. He can solo mid and things like that, but he's a little bit better as a support. Probably he's moderately better as a support. Lion can be ganked fairly easily. He's not super tanky, and he doesn't have an escape. He has a lot of disables, but usually it doesn't matter. Disables are not really what save you in the mid lane. It's survivability, like blinks and stuff like that. And again, just a couple free hits. Just have to watch out for the hook here. Really wasn't in a super large amount of danger, but as soon as I got stunned, I was worried. What the Pudge should have done, I don't know if the Pudge was 2-notter. Yeah, he was actually. What he should have done was anticipated or communicated with the Venge over the stun. If they would have comboed that, I definitely would have died. And again, just a couple of free right clicks on these guys. Even if I'm taking a little bit of creep damage, it's not that bad because I do have a lot of tangos. They're going to get the rune here, but it was unfortunate that he denied that one there. Ooh, I took way too much damage here. Oh, that's about 70 HP there. So this is dangerous. I have no idea why Ursa ran away there. Some really good tango juking from this guy. That was really well done by the Ursa. So we got a double kill out of that. I think the Ursa should have just continued attacking the Venge though. He was scared because he thought he was going to get stunned, but I'm a Lion. I have 2 disables. I have an Earthspite and a Hex. And I used the Hex first, but he backed up, and I think he should have just stayed and fought personally. He might have gotten hooked though, so I don't know. But it worked out. We ended up getting the kills. So now I'm playing super scared because I'm using my Clarity Potion right now. I really want to get the full mana out of this because it'll give me 2 disables. So I'm just sitting really far back here. I don't want to take any damage. I'm just going to ping out where the heroes are moving because I don't want the Ursa to get ganked. See a little bit of a hook here. And now my mana's full again, more or less. I've got 2 disables, and I'm going to continue right-clicking when possible. Normally you'll grab a boots. Well, normally if I'm playing support, I'll usually do Flying Courier really rapidly, but since I'm playing the solo support, I'm a Lion, I'm going to be greedy here and go for a boots first. And if you're playing pubs, I don't think this is always a bad thing to do. He's been doing a good job getting last hits under tower here. I'm sure the Storm's not having a good time. The 2 offlanes are missing, and it's pretty obvious that they're going for the Ursa. This is really normal when people do dual offlane, and there's the gank. I think I called it, but I could have been more explicit that I expected the gank to happen, and he's going to end up dying here. So a little unfortunate for Ursa, but I could have called that maybe better. Very obvious that if they're missing, they're going to dual roam through our jungle and look for the solo kill, because usually heroes that are jungling are not at full HP, and usually they're on positions where you can get behind them. So I'm going to save up for the flying courier now, but I just really needed boots, honestly. If you don't have boots and you're against a hero like Pudge, you're just going to have a bad time, because if Pudge ever rots you or hooks you, you just die. So boots are really, really, really important when you're playing line, especially. And now the items that I have right now are actually equivalent to like what you get when you start item, or when you start a line. Usually you'll get like boots, tango, and one clarity potion. But I had to buy courier and I had to buy wards at the start, so. Now I don't feel super safe running through the jungle here, because I'm a little scared, but we did see where the Venge was, and he's kind of hiding in the trees, so I was hoping I could get there in time. This was weird. I think he should. I don't know if he had his Banish or not. Really weird positioning by him. To be a little careful here. I'm worried about the Venge stun. Luckily I had the ward here, so I knew exactly which area he was in. I knew that he hadn't left. I figured he was juking in the tree clump. If he actually would have ran right, he would have lived, to be honest. But I don't know why he was so scared there. I guess if I chased him directly after, like, the reason I didn't want to move right after him was because I wanted to shadow him until my stun was up. If I just went into melee range after him, he very likely could have thrown a stun and just ran away, and then I would have been out of range. So the reason that I moved into the trees instead was because I wanted to stay close to him, but I didn't want to let him be able to throw the stun and allow me to get the kill. I didn't want him to throw the stun and then just run away from him, because I think he's got boots. Oops, let's F5 here. He actually has phase boots now. I don't know if he had those before, but he had boots. So him having boots means that it's really hard for me to shadow him. I can't shadow him because he can just run away at equal speed, so if he stuns and then runs, I won't be within stun range and he's gone. So if he just would have ran right, he actually would have lived completely. But instead what happened was, I'm just going to remove fog. Oh, I can't remove fog here. Fortunately for, he got the regen here, but I'll just hit him a couple more times.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now I don't have 6 yet here, so ganking the top lane isn't really possible, and I think Troll's been outlaning the Tide here. Tide is far less levels, which I'm actually surprised about. That should have been a 1v1, and he's actually way behind, and he hasn't died. I think the Tide is just honestly doesn't know how to play a 1v1 matchup and has been afraid. Like, you don't have to be that scared of a Troll Warlord in my opinion, because you've got Anchor Smash. Like, Aghs could be roaming and ganking and stuff, but I'm sure the Tide played way too scared. Like, easily played way too scared. There's no way that a hero should have 3-level advantage over you if it's a 1v1. Like, Aghs could have ganked and stuff, but I don't know. I guess I'd have to watch the replay from the beginning to see how zoned he got, but you should like, look at that. He's not even standing in experience range right now. That's ridiculous. You should always be gaining experience if you're in a 1v1. If you're in a tri lane, yeah, sure, sometimes you're not going to be able to get it, but that was really poor play by the Tide, in my opinion. He got his 6 way too long. So I'm going to try to set up a gank here mid. I could have maybe done this a little earlier. Oh, I think we saw the storm somewhere else or something. What actually happened, I thought that the storm would be going for that last hit, so I approached the low ground. And since that fight's so far away and it's moving towards their side of the river, I decided not to run towards it. I thought it would be better for me to sit mid. Lodi actually helped out though, so I was pretty close to where he was. Maybe I should have stayed, but getting solo levels as a line is oftentimes very good if your opponents or your allies will give you an opportunity to gain levels. I missed like so many last hits here. This is terrible, but it definitely delayed my blink by a little bit. Most of the time too, you'll grab Tranquil Boots before you start working on your Blink Dagger, but considering I still had 10 ghosts left over, it's fine to be going for these. I didn't get that one either. So I'm just going to sit around for one more level of experience because I'm about to hit 6, and then I can use level. He actually decided to go for top rune, so I just going to continue getting levels, I guess. Saw the Troll diving. We're going to try to lead him off here. Check to see what level your the levels are. Should have ultied earlier. I actually waited way too long to ulti. But I got a kill. So that's huge. That's their mid hero, by the way, guys. That's a level 6 Storm Spirit, and I'm level 7 as a support. I'm just going to drain some of the mana here from Aghs. That actually burned all of his mana. Venge was in a good spot though, and that gets a stun off on me. This is really dangerous. Gotta stun the other two, it's the only way I could live. But Venge with the phase boots does more than enough damage, so I end up dying. And that was actually a really unfortunate death. I didn't anticipate the Venge being there. I thought that for sure. I guess they were moving as soon as the troll dove as well. I don't know if they were all behind the secret shop. I should have been watching better when the dive happened, because I would have had a better understanding of how many heroes were there. But we still got a troll, and we got a storm out of it. So we killed 2 cores, and then we ended up dying. So I think that's worth it because we both got experience from the double kill. Whereas, I mean, they got supports from mid and support, but I don't know. And I guess my net worth in a lot of ways is higher than theirs are, but if you're wondering how he died there, it looked like his HP was higher. He actually used the soul ring for some reason. I'm not sure why. But he used the soul ring. If you're jungling Tide, you can't do it at level 6 very reliably. You kind of have to be like 7 or 8. Because the damage they do needs to be reduced further. You need a 4th Anchor Smash preferably, or a 3rd Kraken Shell. One or the other. So at this point, since I'm so close, what I'm going to do is just jungle. And jungling it's not that bad here because once you get your Blink Dagger, you have to go back to base anyway. So using mana on something like this is not a big deal. One camp is usually going to be enough. And that gives me a little bit over 120 gold. So that'll buy my Blink Dagger and my TP Scroll, which is fantastic for a support. If you're getting your Blink Dagger at 10 minutes as a support line, you're having a really good game, and I was having a really good game. I got a lot of kills, and I was in the right place at the right time for a lot of those kills. If I would have evaded that Venge stun by like expecting Venge to be there by seeing him move into our jungle, I don't know if that was possible, of course. I think with the way that he went was, as soon as we were going for troll, I think he ran this way. And then he kind of went this way because we got those 2 kills, and then he waited for the further setup. That's what happened. But so I probably should have been able to see that coming. That's another death that I could have prevented. But either way, I got a Blink Dagger, and now I can use this to go around the map getting kills. And this is what you need to do when you're playing support line. You have to set up kills. The downside is I don't have Finger of Death because I use it to kill the storm. But I still can do really good disable setup. I have 2.5 seconds of Hex, and then I have 2.5 seconds of stun from Earth Spike. So I have 5 seconds of disable that we can use on somebody. Now going on the kills, you have to figure out where you're going to go. And that part's important. I kind of wanted to go top to kill the troll, but Tide isn't really a good solo killer. He's more like, he does medium damage with disable, and I need my ulti to get a kill, basically. I think we lost top tower without glyphing there. That was a mistake. I should have looked. So many heroes mid, though. That was a really shit stun. I could have got 3 heroes with that. Being dived here. I want to prevent him from blinking, so I'm going to hit him once in a while. Really important that you hit him like that. We have a troll coming too. I think we could fight him. All I have to do is blink stun and then ult. Don't want to get hit by the Aghs. Then I don't want to use ulti either if I don't have to. So remember, the cooldown for ulti is so long. It is really, really long. It's 160 seconds at level 1. So if you don't have to use Finger of Death, you really shouldn't. And that was a perfect example of saving it there. We had enough damage. All I really needed to do was lock him down long enough that we could chase him down. So I used Hex instead. It's like Juggernaut's doing some crazy stuff. Looks like that call actually missed. Just barely, though. I wanted to turn on this, because I saw the Aghs. Should have blinked back. So, I didn't expect the storm to be there. I guess I could have watched better. The Jug was upset with that because he lost his kill streak. I'm trying to think about how I could have done that better. What I should have done, the most important thing that I should have done right there was anticipated the Aghs coming back in. If I would have sat back a little bit and saved my second disable, that would have done a lot. Because if I got called, it burns through my HP instantly, because my armor is really low and he's doing physical damage. Not to mention I would also be attacking the Aghs. That's double the chance of him spinning. If it's just a Jug attacking an Aghs during that, we might have been able to outplay them, I think. But I used both disables on the storm as he initiated, and I forgot about the fact that Aghs can just blink in and call too. So I think that was more a gameplay. I mean, we should have seen the storm coming and we should have just backed. Would have been the safest thing. But we also maybe could have blown him up. I think if Jug was less afraid there, if Jug would have approached with the same aggressiveness that I did, we could have just blown the storm up right away. Because I could have hexed him and fingered him, and then maybe stunned him if I had the mana. I think it was a bit low in mana though. I don't know. If we would have done the combo better, if I was more aware of my mana totals, I think we could have just blown him up. I had to hex the storm because it's an instant cast, and you should always hex first as you initiate, especially if they have like a jump or something like that. We saw the Purge there, but I felt like we could get this kill.
Top tower is under attack.
I messed up my my cast cast correction there. There was no chance that guy was living. So, in that case, I blink stun first, and then I hexed. But that's actually not the right thing to do. What you're supposed to do is blink hex. I don't know why I stunned there. I think it was because I was trying to save mana, because I knew that with a stun and an ulti we could kill him. I think that's why I didn't do it. But it wasn't very safe at all. Wasn't a safe move. So I should have just blink hex. It was still pretty fast though. If that guy was a super good player, he could have dodged that and we would have just lost the gank, and that would have been a really big loss. Even still, we did get a kill because of Finger of Death. Ursa kind of threw a little bit after this. He had a really good early game, and his mid game ended up being pretty mediocre. Aghs had a blade mail at this point, I believe. The Jug was not very happy about that. It's basically because he got the wicked 6 streak on the Jug. I'm sure Storm by our Ancients or something? Where did the Storm go? I'm really curious for Storm. Oh, he went mid, okay. That was weird. So I don't have an ulti, I have to be pretty careful here. I'm going to stay really far back in case the OD gets gone on. JK, I'm moving up. Going to put a ward down. And they're all missing, this is really scary. I think my ward here was... well, the top rune ward was maybe a little bad. It doesn't really accomplish a whole lot. It doesn't really protect us, so it probably would have been better to put that ward here. I don't know if you can see it. I'll show you with my screen. I think we should put the ward right here in the center of the screen. Right here. Or I could have put it here. Or I should have put it over here somewhere to protect the other entrance to the jungle. That would have been better. This ward is... It's really easy to place, but it doesn't do that much except for checking people that happen to be running through the river. And not a lot of good players run through the river, so I think that was a mistake. I used to use that word a lot when I was in Korea, and it was just, they would always criticize me for it for good reason, because it just wasn't a good word. At this point we realized it was an illusion, but not that much lost there. Again, when you go the skill build online, and the reason you do go the skill build, by the way, is because Hex is so good at level 1 now. In the past, Hex was really weak at level 1, so you kind of had to put levels in it, otherwise you'd only have one disable. So you'd have to go 4-4-0 with ulti and then stats kind of a build. But now mana drain has been buffed and buffed, the distance is higher, the mana per second it drains is way higher, it does 120 at level 4, and most importantly Hex is just a good spell at level 1. So it's okay to go 4-1-4 now, and that's kind of how you deal with your mana problems, is just by having mana drain. So I get a magic stick here. Magic stick or a wand is pretty much always needed on a support, especially as line. Again, my hero is really squishy, so it's more important that I don't get initiated on more than it is that I tank up. So I shouldn't be getting initiated on. We lost the Ursa again here. Well, I was hoping somebody would come top to farm and we could just kill them very easily. They've got Finger of Death as well, so our chances of killing somebody are super high. And again, I'm just shadowing where the Jug is, and I don't want to show. It's dangerous to run the path that Jug is running, because there's likely they have a ward up here. I like running this path instead, because there's a lower chance of them having a ward. But Troll's got an Aegis now, and there's a lot of heroes mid. Looks like there's going to be a fight. Moved my camera a little bit weak here. I may have shown as well. I don't know if I went low ground. Didn't really want to reveal. I could have maybe gone in there and ultied the Venge. He has a Mask of Menace, by the way. He's playing like a core Venge for some reason. I probably should have caught the Purge there with my stun. I think my... Ooh. That was actually pretty dangerous. Yeah, you know what? That was actually a really big mistake by me. My stun was terrible. I should have ground... That's one of the issues with a skill like Earth Spike that can hit the ground and target a hero, is that I wanted it to catch like 3 heroes, and in fact my blink was bad. That's entirely my fault right now that Jug died. It is 100% my fault. The Jug should have never died there. I thought this was a little greedy, but... You know, the greediest thing about this is I didn't really check Storm's mana when I went in there, and I should have. But now I've got a Blink Dagger and I'll be fine. I think that was worth using Finger of Death, especially it was a level 2 Finger of Death, so it's only a 100-second cooldown. That wasn't too bad. I think that was worth it to burn an Aegis. I actually thought it was a kill. I still have a huge problem with not checking items. I need to check items before you go in, because you have to figure out what are the chances, like see how much mana Storm has. Like if Storm actually had enough mana to ball after me completely, I just would have died there, because he would have balled after me, he would have caught me, and Troll would have caught up, and it would have been my life for an Aegis, which really isn't worth it. If I burn the Aegis and get out, it's worth it, but that was like overly greedy, and I shouldn't have done that, I don't think. So that was bad, I think. But the most important thing was that the Jug died on the Pudge, and that shouldn't have happened. And we should have followed up. I just assumed that Jug was going to be able to get the kill for sure. I should have just hexed. Like, I should have impaled to catch all 3, probably, but I aimed for the Aghs and the Venge, but I should have aimed. I'm trying really hard to save Ursa there, but there's only so much you can do. But that's one of the good things about Blink, is it allows you to line up your line skill. Like, I should have landed this on 2 heroes, then I should have followed up hexed the Aghs to prevent his call. And that would have prevented the Jug from dying, and that would have drastically increased his farm. Like, it's actually really significant. I'm sure that that fight was, like, way closer than it should have been, basically. I don't have any disable here, so it's not really a whole lot I could do. Alright, he's got no mana now. But he can blink. I wanted him to chase here. This is actually really dangerous, though. Looking at the map, this wasn't worth it. So I almost had enough mana for Finger of Death. The other mistake was that the Aghs actually didn't have any mana left, so by mana draining him on the high ground, I wasn't able to get enough for Finger. Or it was barely enough, but what I should have done, I should have stunned high ground and mana drained the Pudge, and then I would have had enough for Finger, and I probably could have gotten the kill on the Pudge. But I think that was just a big mistake. It was my fault that I helped the Jug chase that. We shouldn't have chased that at all. It was a big mistake to chase. Should have just should have looked at the map and been like, oh, there's like 4 heroes collapsing our position, and we're trying to kill a fucking Aghs who's really difficult to kill. So that was a pretty big mistake. I actually made quite significant mistakes. I thought I played really well this game, but I honestly, like, it should have been like no deaths kind of a thing. That's a really good example of Aghs being the counter to those heroes. Aghs being the counter to Jug. This obviously revealed that they had a ward. There's no way that they wouldn't have a ward here. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I blinked really late there, but I blinked in time. I was actually pretty big that I put my ward down there, because if I didn't put my ward down, I might not have killed him. But he wasn't going to kill me anyways, he didn't have a BKB. That was just the dumbest thing. The only way that was going to work for him is if I did have my ulti, or if he'd permabash me. So that was just really stupid. He completely fed his life away there. That was quite confusing. Anyways, I've got sentries now. I'm going to go deep ward the ward that I know is there, because the Aghs immediately blinked on top of me. So they obviously had vision of me. That's kind of how I do my warding in pubs, but the best way is usually to predict. But I don't really do that very much, but I should. Predicting where their wards are going to be, or seeing them get placed is the best way, but the second best is you see them react in a certain way that proves that they have vision of you. So I'm going to go de-ward that. Most people place it right on the middle, really obvious. That ward's almost dead. I kill with like 1 second to spare. So I kind of wasted my sentry. Well, I got 50 gold back, so it wasn't too bad, but kind of wasted my sentry. So I just put my wand in base. If you guys are ever like, if somebody asks you to do a support thing like put wards down or carry the smoke, you should do it as a support. In this case, I dropped my wand. In this case, I dropped my wand to carry sentry, and that's completely fine. The Ursa thought that there was a ward up there, so I put a sentry down as well, but there actually wasn't. But don't be afraid to drop an item. Like, even if your wand is going to be on the courier for like the next fight, it's not that big of a deal. It's a small item. You don't have to hold all of these things. I popped a smoke here because there were 2 dead heroes, so I thought that there was a really good chance that we could get kills. What a call. We had no Ravage in that fight was the issue. Well, the main issue is that we grouped too much. That was, this was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So we lost 3 heroes there for absolutely nothing. The mistake was that we grouped at the Aghs blinked at actually the perfect time. Right when we grouped 3, he was able to get a 3-man Aghs call. and then do damage to everybody. Like,
Tower is under attack.
I think that was an okay call by me to go in on them, like even without Tide Ravage. But what should have happened is they should have let me initiate first. But I think the troll was backing in time. I don't know.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
We like forced that too hard and then we grouped too much. Against Aghs, you have to be really careful to spread out. Similar to, it's like playing against a.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's like playing against reverse polarity or black hole. You have to stay a little spread out. If you don't, things like that happen. Kill towers really fast.
Tower has fallen.
So despite me being really high level, my HP is still stupidly low. And that's just the nature of line. 1.7 strength gain is pretty bad. Zint gain's pretty good though. So you kind of have to just play him very survivable, or very unsurvivable when you play him. He's like a glass cannon disabler. You just have to sit back and you have to watch your opponents go in and then you have to counteract that. You can build an Aghs. Aghs is pretty good on this hero because it reduces your cooldown on your ulti a little bit lower. Especially for the level 3 Aghs, it's a 20-second cooldown. It also makes it AoE, which is good. And most importantly, the item just gives you HP, and that's something that line really, really needs. So Aghs is really good to get, but this game I was focused on something else. I thought getting an Aghs would be great and all, but there's so many scary heroes to me. Like Storm can jump on me. If Troll gets on top of me and he has a BKB, it's really dangerous. If Pudge gets on top of me, it's pretty dangerous. That's solved by HP or Force Staff. I warded this spot like way too much. I almost warded it twice there, but it didn't work, and I was like, I shouldn't do this bad. So instead I warded this hill. That hill's so much better. Ping the DD, I said fuck it, I'm gonna grab it, because the guy with the bottle's way across the map, so.
Go for my armor.
So yeah, Aghs is good, but it doesn't give you the survivability that Ghost Scepter and Force do. And against a Storm, Ghost Scepter is very good. Against a Troll, Ghost Scepter is extremely good. And against an Aghs, Ghost Scepter is pretty good. Just trying to get over here. Yeah, I messed that up. I thought I could get that kill again, but I wasn't able to get it. That was too bad. While watching it this time, like when I was playing the game live, I was like, oh, this will get him, this will get him. I got my adrenaline was too high, but watching it now, I was like, I need to stun first, because I wouldn't do enough damage, and that was very true. It wasn't enough damage. Like, Finger of Death damage scale is really bad. It goes from 600 to 725 to 850. It's one of the worst scaling abilities in the game, in my opinion. But the best part is the cooldown gets heavily reduced, so it is still worth it to level it up. But I thought I was going to kill him there, and he didn't die. If I would have blinked stun first, there's a decent chance that he wouldn't have reacted in time, and then I could have killed him. But he popped his BKB. In a way, he wasted his 10-second BKB, which is not that bad. But anyways, that's what happened.
Dire's top tower
So ulti
is
cooldown
under
for another 50 seconds. My allies are being really aggressive here, which is really dangerous because there's 5 heroes alive. But they actually just blew somebody up. That was Pudge dying really quick. See Avenge top. Sunjin Yasha with a Mask of Madness. Really weird build, but she's got a lot of HP, so my ability to solo kill her is non-existent. If she was a regular support, like with 1000 HP, I can definitely solo kill her. But if she has carry items or real items, then I won't be able to do anything. I kept asking for somebody to come top with me, because that would have been nice if somebody came. But, and I also can't get there in time to cancel her TP, so I'm just going to farm this wave instead. It's not bad to farm once in a while like this. When most of the towers are gone, farming like an aggressive 2 or 3 camps on your opponent's side is something I really enjoy doing. As carries, as supports, as ganking heroes primarily. But I opted for a Ghost Scepter first over a Blink or a Force. The main benefits of this over Force is that if they already initiate on me, it kind of guarantees that I won't die for 4 seconds. Wanted to catch the troll here really bad. X first. Stun. And again, he's got a BKB, so it's important to keep his HP as low as possible. I actually saved my ultimate for quite a while there, but you really don't need to. Feel free to just throw it out right at the start. Something we taught somebody else that we played with on stream the other day was that if you're playing support, you don't have to use the Finger of Death to get the kill. The most important part is just casting it before they use Black King Bar, because if they use Black King Bar, then your chance is gone. And that's why I was really careful with my disables there. I wanted to make sure that I was able to guarantee that I could get all my spells off. Super important. So against Troll there, Hex immediately into the Earth Spike after about 3.5 seconds, and then following that up, finished up with a Finger of Death to get a bit of burst damage. So we're doing really well right now. We got 2 good kills. That's the carry and their carry support, aka their offlaner, I guess. So yeah, the good thing about Ghost Scepter, it also gives you stats. It gives you +7 to all stats. And if I didn't have that, I don't think I would have had enough mana to actually cast my ulti in the last fight. You kind of have to do... If you have a lot of levels but you're really underfarmed, then you're going to have some trouble with line casting all of your spells. Because as you get more levels in a Hex, it starts costing 25 mana more. I thought this fight was okay here. Smoke broke and then the Ursa kind of gave up. We did kill the Storm actually, so that actually wasn't that bad. I think I would have forced a little earlier and banished me. This is actually a terrible fight though. And I think that's on me. So yeah, what I felt like was, I felt like they wouldn't have 3 heroes right on top of each other there. That's what I thought would happen, but that wasn't the case. They actually had a lot of heroes there, and that was my call as well. I was like trying to pick off a hero. We got 2 kills. I was like, there's 2 dead heroes. Like surely there's only gonna be like 1 or 2 heroes farming, but I think the waves were pretty pushed out. There was like a wave here, there's a wave here. That means that they could have been farming Ancients, and they could have been farming jungle. So they were probably all either here or jungle, but most likely jungle. So I think that was just a bad call by me. I also blinked blind. The Ursa was kind of following me, but then he gave up. But we still got the Storm, but then we lost like a lot of heroes, and we lost Ravage as well. So we lost like way too many lives this game in just stupid ways due to calls by me. I'm not as good at, I need to like better track where the enemies are probably at. Because the heroes they still had up was Aghs, Storm, and Pudge, and the Troll fast very quickly respawned afterwards anyways, so that wasn't worth it for us. That was definitely a big mistake.
Roshan has fallen.
They got Aegis as well here. They put it on Troll.
Immortality.
So, what do I do right here? I was typing things to my team. I said that they're gonna push, so what we need to do is leave the base and go counter push with TPs. That way we can go back. I was typing it right here, and this was the correct read. If you look where their heroes are on the map, they're poking out mid, and there's a couple bottom. So this means that they're basically getting ready to take our tier 2 bottom, which is gonna be the easiest tower to take. And by recognizing that, I was able to come top. I got 5 CS, and look at what the rest of my team is doing. They're actually just sitting mid. They're actually not accomplishing a huge amount. They are starting to fight now, so it's important that I show up maybe. Well, they got 1 kill mid. That was really well done by them. They collapsed on the guy that was solo pushing rather than going on the trying to defend. So it looks like we're going to lose a tower from it, but I got 2 waves of creeps, so I got about 400, 500 gold. And we got a kill, and now we can fight. I should have probably ultied the Storm. Was really a shit banish, but oh well. Drain his mana here. Draining mana against Storm is actually really good. Our Jug's chasing somebody. Draining his mana again. Now that I'm 16, the ulti cooldown's really low. It's not bad at all.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So that was pretty good. Especially against Aghs and Troll, those 2 heroes have fairly low mana pools, at least until Aghs gets like a Shiva's Guard or something. And if you can drain their mana, those two heroes become pretty worthless. So they're very vulnerable. Maybe not Troll's worthless, but he's a lot weaker. He needs to be able to cast Blind with his Axes. He needs to be able to... That was weird that the Venge died there. He needs to be able to cast Axes, that's 50 mana. Every Axe is 50 mana, so that's 100 mana. His ulti is 75 mana, so if he has less than 100 mana, he's actually in a dangerous place where he can't cast all of his spells. So if I can mana drain him while he's disabled, that's like another version of disable that line actually has. And it's something that most lines, in my opinion, don't take proper advantage of. They mostly only do it when they're against heroes like... This was like terrible by me, I can't believe that I... The fact that it got to that far was ridiculous. I should have stunned him here too. I think they did still end up getting the kill, but I definitely should have stunned. There's no excuse not to throw the stun there. I'm running at him to Hex right now, because if he blinks and calls me, I'm gonna die. So I couldn't believe this guy did that. I should have blinked there. I think I was just so blown away. I should have blinked as soon as out of the should have ultied the troll earlier here. As soon as I got mana, I should have ultied him. I blink dodged that on purpose. So I knew he was going to throw a stun out. I feel like the Tide didn't do a very good job here. I don't know. You know, I probably should have ran rather than running at him, I think. I don't know how he got me, but I don't think they had a ward there. Doesn't look like it. Well, they had a ward here, but I think he just got lucky. That's all. I thought he was going to hook into here, so I started moving away from it, but he anticipated me moving out, I guess. I don't know. So, the fight went okay. I should have ultied the troll immediately as soon as I got mana. If I would have done that, the Ursa would still be alive. There's like 3 cases this game where I could have saved my carry's life if I would have just played a little faster and a little bit more higher mechanics. So those were big mistakes that I made this game. I got the Jug killed at least once, probably 2, and I got the Ursa killed there, which was bad. So I gotta be a little bit quicker on those edges. I shouldn't play as greedy in the late game, especially in a close game. Like, if you're on the edge of winning, and if one of your carries or cores can get an extra kill while staying alive, or being an assist kill while staying alive, it's a lot of gold. But if they also die, it's like hurting the advantage that you could have gotten from a team fight. And during all that fighting, I never put wards down. That was pretty important. Did I have a force? No, I think I just got my force. I don't think I had it in that last fight. And then I bought it as I died, which I should have waited. Oh, that Jug just got wrecked. This is really dangerous. I forced him. Only caught 1 stun. It's pretty good Ravage. Wow, he attacks so fast there. That was really unfortunate. The Jug got caught basically and we weren't there to back him up. He actually SNY proc there. I thought he was going to go for this, but it's really dangerous to go for it. Because they have like twice as many heroes alive and they have really good chase. Yeah, if they would have gone with that, they would have died. So that was a really bad team fight for us.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are falling.
That was a big kill. He got a bash on his first hit. That was super big.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I got him, but unfortunately with Battle Hunger on me, I'm really slow and I can't chase. Battle Hunger really screwed me there. Maybe instead of ulting him, I should have waited a bit or something. I don't know. I basically like played my trump card a little too early. I thought it might kill him, but it didn't. It wasn't even close. Well, I needed like 4 right clicks or something to make up for that. Should have been putting wards in a long time ago. If I had wards up, there's a decent chance that Jug wouldn't have died. So that was a pretty big mistake for me. And I was gonna go place a ward by Roche, and then we found out that it was up. So I told everybody to come back now to take Roche. Troll's still dead for 50 seconds, so.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't necessarily want to go in the pit. I more like want to stay outside of it and anticipate people coming in and then initiate to counter. They said that I should grab cheese though because the Jug is full items, so we put. He didn't get his BKB off in time, so we're just gonna do a combo on him. Really easy kill. She's really fast, that was a little bit of a bad guess. I maybe could have gotten him there. We wasted a lot of time chasing though. They didn't want us to chase like that, but we did.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Just getting some mana here. Alright. That double ravage was really big. Really big one.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I should have gone back to nuke that wave as well. I didn't end up doing that, but at least I stopped the range creeps, which is most of the wave push.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
More stats.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom barracks
I think my ult was a little late there. That's so fast. I have to be so careful about my positioning. If I'm ever like out of position, I just die. On the bright side, they still cleaned up, but.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So we got a Rax out of it, we got a tier 2, we got a tier 3.
Has fallen.
Pretty good.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's kind of where things get scary though, because at this point, we aren't really covering each other. I don't know why that guy went in. That was just terrible.
Dire's middle
I told Jug that Jug needed to live, because I think Jug had bought back. So if Jug died here, he would be dead for a stupidly long
Dire's
time.
middle barracks are under. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Make sure that you always mech right as you're missing the first 250 HP. Not that it's going to make a difference here, but it gives you an armor buff, so using it earlier is better. Unless you think that they only have enough damage, you can like bait them or something. Look at that, 15 HP. I couldn't believe how low it was.
Middle barracks are under attack.
Bought more wards here. Wards are, of course, really good late game, so you can see where your opponents are. There weren't really like a lot of smokes this game, I don't think. I used a lot early, but in the late game I didn't organize that many big teamfight smokes, but I probably should have.
Dire's middle tower
We
is
weren't
under
able to get
attack.
the barracks, unfortunately. And I'm going to put really aggressive wards in their jungle, because this is going to help us spot if they're ever farming. And we can react accordingly to that. To be a little careful, I probably shouldn't be using my mobility items just to prepare to place wards, because if they do chase after me, then I won't be able to escape. So I think I shouldn't have been doing that. Looks like we did get the range barracks. If you want to do like a really mini stack against melee creeps, you just go straight to the right, because the block camp is that little pole. Fine to do that basically. I mean, I'm not going to farm it, but somebody else might, so making it a bit bigger helps. Oh, Aghs is actually farming it. For some reason we can see that on the replay, I don't know why. Yeah, we shouldn't be able to see those heroes over there. I don't know why they keep showing up on replays, but... Hex is late there. Wow, that's some big benefits. I wanted to guarantee that my HP was full, so I just used the cheese, because I really didn't want to get chopped there. That was a good fight for us. Just really slow hex for me. I should have blinked faster. I should have been able to catch that. I think they kind of gave up at this point.
Consider yourself lucky. A dead mother, much worse.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
And at this point we got 5 dead heroes. I have no idea why I stunned the ground. Oh, that's right. I was trying to regen my mana from the OD aura, because that gives you a chance to regen your mana.
Dire's middle tower
So much all chat this game. It's actually ridiculous.
structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower has fallen.
This guy was really not into Peruvians.
Dire's ancient is under attack.
Should have ultied. So that's line support. I made a lot of bad calls this game, and I initiated a lot of times where I shouldn't have. I still need to get better at looking at the map during fights. That way I can see who's moving around. I'm not doing it's really important to like gather information correctly. That's what I always got criticized by Joffre when I was in Korea. He said you're not gathering information in team fights correctly. Well, he didn't say that. He said you're not gathering any information sometimes, where I'm not moving my screen to see who's approaching, what items they have, what the fight is going to be like. If you don't gather your information right, then your fight's going to be tough. And a lot of the times, like, my mechanics are good enough to be a higher player. They're not amazing, but they're good enough. But what I need to do is I need to be better at gathering information about everything around me. And most of that comes in moving your camera really fast. So moving your camera around rapidly makes a huge difference in how fast you can gather information. So maybe I should do like you can cue your camera lock to your mouse button, so you can press your mouse button down or something like that, and then when you move your camera, then you can move your camera with your mouse instead of doing edge pan. Edge pan's really inefficient actually, because it's harder to gain information or to gather information. So maybe I should do camera lock. Maybe I'll do that now. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. It's a lion game. I hope you enjoyed. That's how you should play it. Blink hex, ulti, do chain stunning, play really safe, and counter initiate or initiate nuke when you think it's safe. I think I need to play a little bit more defensive on this hero generally, but I had a really good early game and it transitioned into an okay mid game and a lot of mistakes. So I hope you enjoyed. Go play Lion, make sure you have Blink Daggers, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. By the way, go watch the casts. I'm going on right now. Just check my social media and you can see them. Alright, see you guys.